Okay, I want to spend a minute and talk to you about drawing closed mouths. And there's not a lot of line work in a mouth until you get into doing open mouths and you're sort of drawing around teeth. But when you're drawing a closed mouth, really the only line is the line that separates the lips. And I have here this is a page of facial features I've been working on for a number of years. And I have this drawing here of these sort of what I call cartoon lips, where there's a line, straight line across the center, and these two like mountain peaks across the top, and then just this arc across the bottom, and I have a big X drawn through it, right? I don't want you to outline the lips. I do want you to have a line that runs from one side of the mouth to the other, but it should be a very specific line. It should be specific in that it conforms to the curve of the lips very particularly. And it's not going to necessarily be a straight across line. It may be straighter than this one. Typically, at the corners of the mouth, it ends in a very dark space. I think of the lips as being two tubes. So they're shaded in this direction, darker on the outside edges and light in the middle, but then they're also curved to go back, so it's darker back here in the corners than it is in the center. There are some things that you need to keep in mind when you're drawing a pair of lips that are closed, a mouth that's closed. The upper lip is typically a little bit darker. It sits in shadow a little bit more than the lower lip in most circumstances. Light comes from above, and so you end up with this nice highlighted area on the lower lip. So the upper lip is generally a little bit darker than the lower lip. The upper lip is generally a little bit more narrow than the lower lip. Sometimes not very much. Sometimes there's a great distinction between the two. Okay? You're going to draw a series of mouths for me. And I want you to use your best scumbling technique for all of them. I don't want you to rush that shading. I want the mouths to be probably larger than life size. And you can probably get 3 on one page of your notebook, sketchbook page, and 2 on the back side of it. You're going to draw 5 mouths. 3 of them should be closed mouths. 2 of them should be open mouths. Remember, you're going to scumble shade these, so please take your time in doing them. You're going to do these this week. The other thing you may find necessary to include, because remember, you're not going to have these strong outlines around the outside edges of your lips. You may need a shadow below the lower edge of the lip that just comes out a little bit from that lip in order to allow it to come forward. That may be necessary. It may also be necessary. Some of us have very defined, this is called a philtrum, P-H-I-L-T-R-U-M, philtrum, this little indentation over your upper lip. And for some of us, it's a little more prominent than others, but what happens when we have this is that it creates these indentations, and if you shade the dents, then you're allowing the lip to stand out a little more prominently. So once I shade that upper edge of the lip here, you're going to see that it doesn't have a dark edge, it ends up having a light edge after all. So keep that in mind. That is one way to get that to stand out. So you see how that begins to take some form there. Remember, highlight on the lower lip, philtrum if you need it. You're shading these to go in this direction and in this direction as well. Okay? 5 mouths, 3 of them closed, 2 of them open. Thank you.